But first, Eric Sandin, who grew up in Gorham and now lives in New Zealand, won an Academy Award last month for supervising the visual effects for the movie Avatar: The Way of Water. You may have heard that news, but you probably don't know the full story of what happened to him on the day of the Oscars ceremony.
Just a few hours before leaving his hotel to attend the ceremony, Eric Sandin began having sharp pains in his stomach. It soon became obvious the pains weren't going away. He went to a hospital where doctors ruled out the possibility of appendicitis, but said he might have kidney stones.
At that point, Sandin asked, "Can I still go to the Oscars?" The start of the ceremony was less than an hour away. The doctor said he could attend, but he'd likely be in pain. Sandin figured better to be in pain at the Academy Awards than in pain in his hotel room watching them. You got there in time. You made it into the auditorium. You were in your tuxedo. How did you feel when the ceremony got underway?
I didn't feel too bad because I had had some painkillers when the time came and they announced Avatar. And I stood up for the first time in an hour and a half, 2 hours. It was very apparent something was definitely not right. And my blood pressure was real low. I honestly don't remember walking up to stage.
Eric Sandin had just won Hollywood's highest honor, an Academy Award. With Oscar statuette in hand, he, like all award winners, was whisked backstage.
After we got the awards, I remember doing a little bit of a press line where all I could think is, if I'm going to throw up on someone, who's it going to be? Pretty much got out of there as quick as I could, handed my Oscar to one of the other guys and said, "Give this to my wife and get it engraved," because you have to go up to the governor's ball to get your Oscar engraved. Called my car and said, "I need to go back to the hospital."
You must have had in your head just this waterfall of emotions because you realized you had won, and this was a terrific achievement, and yet you were in real discomfort, wondering if you're going to throw up on somebody as you're holding your statuette backstage. What was going through your head? Did you realize all this conflicting stuff, or did you just feel so lousy that you just wanted to get to the hospital?
You know, I'm pretty good with pain. And the pain was so great that all I could think was it would be really fun to go to the Vanity Fair party and really fun to go to the Elton John party, but there's no way I'm going to make it feeling like this. So I got to go get checked out and find out what's happening.
So you went back to the hospital for the second time in, I don't know, 9-10 hours, something like that. What did they say on round two?
Well, the funny part is I went back to, they called it a celebrity ER, and I got back there and there was I won't give the actor's name, but he was checking in and he was trying to figure out what name he should have been giving because he didn't want to give his real name. And everyone knew who he was. And it was quite amusing to listen to, even though I was in so much pain.
In fact, Sandin's condition was so bad and the need for surgery so urgent that the doctor from the celebrity ER personally took him to Cedars-Sinai Hospital. So
he drove me over to the hospital and actually probably saved my life by doing it. Within an hour, I was in surgery.
What was the surgery for? What did the doctors do?
I had a ruptured upper intestine. My intestine blew itself up, and I was basically filling myself with crap and bleeding out on the inside. So it was not a pleasant thing. I have a nice zipper line right up my belly now. It was a 6-hour surgery.
It's an absolutely extraordinary occurrence because maybe the highest high of your life, certainly the highest high of your professional life, I'm guessing, and one of the lowest lows of your personal life, certainly in terms of your own well-being and your health, happening at the same time. When you had a little chance to sort of try to make sense of this and process it, what did you make of it?
I mean, there's so many levels of it. Like, it's if it would have happened on the plane, I mean, it's a 13-hour flight, right? So if it would have happened when I was on the plane on either direction, I probably would have been in deep trouble. And then I got an amazing doctor there, an amazing surgeon, because he just happened to be on that day. So, I mean, everything really honestly worked out great. If this was going to happen, it was the right time for it to happen. It would have been better if I had a day after, so I could have enjoyed the Oscars a little bit. But hey, at the end of the day, I have an Oscar, and hopefully someday I get to go back and enjoy those parties too.
You work in the world of cinema, Eric, and it's all about storytelling. You've got one heck of a story now for the rest of your life about the day when you came alarmingly close to losing your life, and on the same day, winning your first Academy Award.
It's definitely unique.
My gosh.
He's so low-key about it, and he's so cool and accepting about it, but it's just the most amazing story.
It really is. I feel like they could probably adapt that into something that he could win another Oscar for.
I asked him if anyone had come to him or if he had talked to anyone about making some kind of a short film, a short documentary, a television episode, something based on what he's done. He said there's been some feelers, but nothing that he really would want to pursue at this point.
Man.
As we mentioned, Eric Sandin lives in New Zealand. That's the reference to the 13-hour flight that he's glad he avoided while being ill. And one other note, Eric was also nominated for the British version of the Academy Awards, and he won for Avatar, but he couldn't go to that ceremony in England, even though he'd traveled there from New Zealand, because why? At the last minute, he came down with COVID.